Hello everyone. I apologize in advance if I sound sick because, well, I am, but I wanted to get this video made and this cold isn't going anywhere. I thought today we would take a look at the Girl of the Years because those were one of the parts when I first got into American Girl that really drew me in, other than the historical dolls, of course, and I've done many videos on them. But anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so you can read this if you want, pause and read it, but it pretty much just says that the Girl of the Years were invented to show what girls' interests were at the time and to show, sort of stories that girls could relate to. And over time, it's been sort of like a time capsule of what happened at that time. Okay, so first we had Lindsay, and she came out in 2001. And I think she's really interesting because she had a computer and she had a dog named Scooter, I think, and she was just the first doll, so she was super cute, and she was also Jewish, so that was the second Jewish doll we've, I think, ever had, and she's super cute. But she didn't sell well, so we didn't get another doll until 2003 with Kaylee. This is just another thing talking about how Lindsay was just, showing girls and others how they were living at the time, and she scooted off into their hearts, which isn't exactly true because Lindsay didn't sell well, neither did Kaylee, and so that's why we didn't have another one for another couple of years until Marisol. And so of course here is Kaylee. She is probably my least favorite next to Isabel. She's very basic looking and I never liked her collection. It was a lot of beachy things and she didn't sell well either. And then we got Marisol, which was the one who sort of started the Girl of the Year line if you ask me. She was very popular and this outfit right here definitely reminds me of Covey's, but I just love her. Her whole dance aesthetic was amazing, and this is the one that sold really well. Look at this little phone when it comes up. But she is the reason that we have the American Girl of today, or Girl of the Year line now. Jess. Now surprisingly, this line had a lot of diversity even from the beginning. We had Lindsay, who, just wasn't a Christian, and we had Marisol, who I think, was she Spanish or something? I don't remember. Don't judge me. But then we had Jess, who came up with the Jess mold, and she is our first Asian doll of the year. And I don't have much to say about her, but she wasn't that influential other than the fact that she was what brought us the Jess mold, which would later be used for very, very popular dolls like Kanani. Vicky, she has been very forgotten by everyone until the new twins were announced, and I still forget that she exists because she's very basic, didn't really do much for the Girl of the Year line, she just existed. Mia. Okay, so I loved her books as a kid, but also she was our first girl that got a very large collection. We got not only Mia's ginormous bedroom set, but we also got her ice stage. And this was the first sort of every girl of the year has a big accessory thing, and she's the one that started it. Krissa, I've said it 1,000 times, I love Krissa. She was our first and pretty much last girl to get friends along with her in her story. She had the ever iconic Sonali and Gwen. Krissa is not that rare of a doll, but her friends are increasingly rare, and her year brought us one of the most rare and most popular girls, Sonali, and just Gwen, who came with a lot of controversy because she was homeless. Krissa was also our first Girl of the Year movie. Lainey was the Girl of the Year for 2010, and she gave us the first sort of house set, I'd say, which is her camper van thing. We've seen ones like this since, but it was a very new thing at the time because there had not been a camper or like a big car-like thing or house sort of thing sense. Do I even have to introduce her? This is Kanani, the most popular girl of the year, I think, to date, with some of the best sales and one of the hardest, most expensive dolls to find. She was the second one with the Just mold and our first one from Hawaii. McKenna, nothing really special about her. She's here, she didn't have a hair part, she broke her leg. She has a movie, it's only okay. Oh yeah, and here's her bed. Sage also continued the movie saga, and she was a very, very popular doll. I don't know if it was because of her red hair or her sort of Western aesthetic, but her big item was this balloon. I've got a couple qualms with Miss Isabel. First of all, she was born in 2005, and if you asked little me and even me a couple months ago, Girl of the Year was sort of, your Girl of the Year was whatever year you were 10 years old, because up to this point, every Girl of the Year was born 10 years before their year, so they were 10 years old. Isabel, not so much. She was 9, and she had a very basic collection of dance, and not only that, her movie was the worst, but she did have a movie. And her doll, I'm pretty sure you can still find at the benefit sale because they cannot get rid of her for the life of them. She was our first doll with colored hair though. Grace, she was 10 years old, so that is good. She had a movie starring Olivia Rodrigo. That was her first, I'd say, like, big role. And she also gave us the ginormous bakery, which was a huge deal at the time, and she was super popular for it. It's time for Leah. She was also 10, so I don't know what they were doing with Isabel at the time, but she is definitely one of my favorite dolls. I think they're trying to sort of capitalize on the feel of Kanani, especially with this sort of smoothie shake stand, and it worked. Leah was very popular, and I love her. I love her more than Kanani, and her story was good, and she did have a movie which was okay, honestly. The movie was okay. Gabriella, she was born in 2006, so she was 11 for her story. She was just a reused Truly Me, which made a lot of people mad, and her collection was very much lacking. Her big sort of accessory set thing was a dance studio, which was just a cardboard sort of cutout of a dance studio that you could slide into slats, and so it would make a background. She was not very popular at all. People were very mad about it because Tenny was given way more of a collection, including a friend, Logan, like Krissa had. But either way, she was the Girl of the Year, and she did not have a movie, although she did have 3 books. Sienna, our third doll, born in 2006. She did not get a movie, but she did get, I think, 2 books. She had a ginormous space set and a space theme to her, which was very unique at the time, although her outfit did not age well. As you can hear, my voice is dying, so we are just going to power through the next couple of them. Blair, she was 10 at the time of her Girl of the Year release, and she had a sort of shabby chic theme. I forget about her a lot, and I don't hear a lot of people talk about her. She didn't really have anything unique. She was just a Josefina mold that worked on a farm. Now, Joss was very popular. She not only had a hearing aid, but she had a beach theme, which seems to be a really popular theme. And she was the first doll that brought back the sort of movie thing since Gabriella, with the stop-motion movies released on YouTube that were very popular. She was the first doll with a disability and also the first doll that could surf. Kira, she was 11, so she broke that line too. And she also had a movie on the American Girl YouTube. She was a lot of people's not so much favorite doll, but I think she is very beautiful. Corinne, our first Asian no, sorry, our first Chinese doll with a new face mold as well. She was a skier, and her books dealt with a lot of things like racism and COVID. And I think she just had an amazing line, and she also had a movie, a stop motion movie. She was supposed to get a live action movie, but she never did. She just broke a lot of records. She is our first doll with a classified mental illness, because ADHD is classified as a mental illness right now. I don't know if I agree with that, but sure. And she is unique because she has a collection just about Broadway. She very much gives Marisol vibes, but she's our first Indian girl, and also our first with a Marie Grace mold. And that brings us to the end of the video and of my voice. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you real soon.